Our kids, our
Video
children
6.
mass transit. It's also the
Sunday,
state
October
transportation
24th,
agency council. There's a
2021.
rail plan. And here to talk a little bit about the rail plan, the history of the purchase of this rail line, and all the interconnectivity that we believe is going to happen in a not too distant future. Barry, you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, happy to, David. But first, let me thank all of you again. And Lonnie, we want people to be aware of and follow Equity Transit. Another favorite group is railandtrail.org. Yay!
Yeah.
Follow coastconnect.org and Coastal Rail Santa Cruz, coastalrail.org. All of these organizations are making this possible. And, you know, you can always contact the sccrtc.org, info@scc.rtc.org, and tell them that you rode this rail line and you loved it, and we need to have this happen like right away. The state rail plan, this is Caltrans talking. Caltrans is in charge of all transportation, airlines and boats and ferries and trains and highways. I used to think it was just highways, but no, it's rail. There is a projected, there's something called the State Rail Plan, Caltrans State Rail Plan, and it projects $144 billion between now and 2040 to be spent on rail, it literally say, moving from highways to railways. Like, investing less in highways because this doesn't help the environment, and moving people to rail transportation. They express some numbers on this, and it's actually to change the mode share. Mode share means what percentage of trips are taken by rail from a current 0.38%, 34% to 6.8%. That's a 20-fold increase between now and 2040. They project $144 billion
The wigwag ain't working.
of combined funding
On
to
it.
make this happen. And our population weighted
Need to work
share
on
of
that.
that, if you take the
They need to
population
work on that
as a
signal.
percentage and multiply it by 144 billion, is right at $1 billion for this county. Now, whether or not that gets spent, it's not allocated, it's not dedicated to it, but all things being equal, that's our contribution to it. That is the Santa Cruz County's
This
contribution
one
to
should
the
be
plan.
working.
And if we don't spend it, guess what? We don't get it back. It gets spent by the counties that apply and use those funds. So this is an appealing argument that one can make. It's just like, dude, I am putting money into a program. I want to spend it here.
The taxes you pay are already going into those funds, so let's get it back here.
That's right. Now, we are part of a network already. And when you look at this state rail plan, you see that our branch line is included in this big, massive network of existing rail lines. We just haven't implemented transit on it yet. This rail line is actually part of the state and federal freight network, and it's an existing rail line. It's a technically active and permitted rail line with work that needs to be done here and there to make it fully functional. Now, I don't know if it's been mentioned, we're doing 10 miles an hour on this existing track. With modest improvements, that can go up to 30 miles an hour, and with further improvements, it can be permitted to go even faster. This vehicle will do 50 in the long stretches, and so we can be moving faster. But of course, we have to spend some money to make those improvements. The bridges that need repair and attention were formerly made for freight. I hope that we keep the freight easement and restore them to freight capability, whether we run freight or not. Exactly for this reason. We are going to have fires. We are going to have earthquakes. We are going to have floods, landslides, and everything in this county. And this rail line is our lifeline for resiliency, for safety, for recovery. Because the first thing to go, seems like, is the highway. You take one person on a bridge, and suddenly everything is done. So everything is locked up. So we need this rail line for, if nothing else, we need to keep it and save it for being able to respond to climate change caused largely emergencies, but also obviously for public transit. And my last thing is this: the California Coastal Commission has written letters that are explicitly supportive of our rail line, keeping it and using it for three reasons. Because taking freight off the highways, keeping it off the highways, is good for the environment. It also improves access for motor vehicles because there's fewer trucks, but also the rail line for passenger service, again, improves access to coastal features,
Thank you, Barry. So just a reminder for all of you who might have this in your mind, we actually have the trail in progress. The trail is being built now. Some of you folks might have seen it on the west side. There's a segment in Watsonville, and then the segment right now that's going through the EIR review, the environmental impact review, on segments 8 and 9, which is the live oak. So
Equal
as soon as
part.
that review is done, we'll get building on that. And David, do you want to add to that?
Sure. We talked a little bit about the spur up here going to the west side, and we talked about the rail trail over on the west side. That's segment 7, phase 1. There's a phase 2 that would go from Bay Street over to the boardwalk. So, in the not so distant future, you're going to be able to ride your bike from the boardwalk all the way to the west side